started on a snowmobile real early. My parents threw me on a sled when I was about 6 years old, and we had a cabin just outside of Kremlin, Colorado. And it's funny, those first few times on a sled, I mean, I knew, like, I became borderline addicted to it, and that was pretty cool. So at an early age, I knew I wanted snowmobiling to be a part of my life. And when your teachers or your grandparents ask you, well, what do you want to be when you grow up? And when I told them a snowmobiler, they're like, yeah, right. They give you the okay. And so, I mean, I think that, when you want something bad enough, you can go get it. And I think that's kind of the cool thing about my story is I knew what I wanted to do and what I wanted to be, but I didn't know how to do it. And so it's kind of interesting, the full circle of what I have been doing and what I've been a part of in the industry. I started out backcountry riding as a kid, and just knowing that I wanted to be able to do this for a long time and hopefully for a career. But there was no backcountry rider. There wasn't that career didn't exist. And so at that time, snowcross was kind of the big deal. You had the Blair Morgans of the world and Tucker Hibbert just coming onto the scene. And so I was like, well, if I want to be a snowmobiler as a profession, I need to be a racer. The problem is you have to train and have good equipment and all of this stuff. And I was just a kid who worked his butt off. I had 2 jobs to pay for my habit of snowmobiling. I got a loan for my first sled before my first car. Those are kind of the things that behind the scene that people look at me now and they see all the snowmobiles and now timber sleds and big trailers and all this cool thing, and I get the question, well, how do I get to where you are? And I'm like, man, it's been 16 years it's taken me to get to the level I am right now. And kind of to back up, started in snowcross, realized I wasn't that great at racing. It was okay, did okay, but I really enjoyed jumping. I liked the jumping aspect of it, both on the track and out in the mountains. And it's kind of funny how that translated into the freestyle portion of my career. And that's really, I think, what put my name on the map. I did. To look back and see some of the things that I did for money, doing freestyle tours in the middle of a cornfield on a super sketchy landing on snowmobiles in the middle of summer. And it was like, I wasn't making money. I was just, making enough to cover my expenses and get my name out there. And it's funny, everyone who has a cell phone and an Instagram account think they can go and get sponsored. Well, it was a little different back then, Yeah. You did it on the ground. And so, that's kind of, freestyle got me going, and traveled basically all over the world doing freestyle shows and kind of getting exposure that way. And then the big one, of course, was X Games. Being in 2007, X Games announced that they were going to have snowmobile freestyle. And that changed my life right there. It was a cool event. Ended up winning gold there. Took the money that I won from X Games, rolled it into what is now Burandt's Backcountry Adventure. Started my backcountry business. Prayed and hoped that people would want to come and ride snowmobiles with me, and here I am today.